Alrighty, houses, welcome back. And in between the last video and this video, what I did is I made the function to unpack a UDP segment. It's pretty much really similar to ICMP. And I also made this right here. I actually found it online. It is a function to format multi-line data. So whenever we have like a long string of data, and let's say it's like, I don't know, like 7,000 characters long, it doesn't all appear on one line and you have to find it all. It just breaks it up line by line, and it, I don't know, makes it more readable to humans. So it doesn't really do anything you know, like packet sniffing related. So figured I'd save you guys some time. And the last thing I want to mention is I already made these constants at the top, and these are just tabs or smoking too much mota, I guess. Alright, so I'm just kidding. Alright, so all these do is they're just gonna be able to format our text, and I just didn't want to put tabs inside my strings, because that way if we ever want to change it, then we just have to do so up here. If you guys are like, why do you even need those tabs? Well, whenever we display this data, remember, what we basically have is an Ethernet frame, and inside that is an IP packet, and inside that is TCP info. So I'm gonna display it whenever we just you know, look at it on the screen. It's gonna be indented like this. So Ethernet, there's your data in IPv4 data like this, and then you're gonna have some data for that, and then of course your TCP, and then here's all your TCP data. So that's what we're gonna do. Pretty much display each piece of data that's inside as a new indentation level, just to make it more readable to humans. Why not? So before we even start displaying the ICMP or TCP, the first thing that you probably should do is you need to make sure, well, you don't need to do this, but you should probably check, let me add a little comment, to make sure you're using Ethernet Protocol 8. So whenever you do this, it just means that 8, I'll say 4, IPv4. So if your Ethernet protocol is 8, so ETH proto equals 8, that just means that you're using IPv4 regular internet traffic. Now once we verified that we are working with IPv4, then we can just go ahead and display all of the data. So remember, what we did is we already made a function to return the version, the header length, the time to live, the protocol, and we also have the source properly formatted, the target, and the actual data. And we just have to set this equal to IPv4 packet and data. Alright, so basically we're listening for some data right here. We unpacked it, and now what we did is we said that, oh, that's actually an IPv4 packet, so we can go ahead and rip out all the information that we need. Boom, roasted, taken care of. So in order to display this, it's really easy. Just gonna go ahead and tab 1, IPv4 packet. And now let me just go ahead and print out the information that is inside that IPv4 packet. So I'm going to print it out in new indentation level. So it's version, header length, and time to live. And what I want to do is format this. Version, header length, and time to live. Now, if I just print all of this information out on the same line, then goofy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually break this up into 2 lines. And you guys can change it if you want, but I'm going to have this protocol, source, and target. And target. Alright. So now what we did is we pretty much already printed out all of the header information for our IPv4 packet. But now what we have to do is we need to deal with the actual data that's inside. And remember, the data that's inside is more likely than not going to be either ICMP, TCP, or UDP. How do we know which one it is? Well, all we have to do is we test the prototype of your, where is it? Right here. Your IPv4 packet. So again, every kind of encapsulation, your Ethernet, your IP, your TCP, they all have protocols. So I think I keep saying prototype. That's not it. So, all right. So we're first going to check if it's equal to ICMP. Now remember, if you look at your little diagram for IP headers, we have a little cheat sheet that says, okay, if the protocol is 1, that means that there's an ICMP packet inside. If it's equal to 6, that means it's TCP data, yada yada, tomato tomato, 17 for UDP, whatever. So we're going to test the proto, and if it's equal to 1, that must mean, like I said, that it's ICMP. So we can go ahead and get all this, and it returns 4 pieces of information. So we can just do this, and data equal to ICMP data. So that way we check the protocol. There we go, got it right that time. And if it's equal to 1, then we're going to unpack it properly. Now, if it was equal to 1 and we try to unpack it using this function, then it's going to throw a whole bunch of errors because the data is not bundled up in that kind of way. So that's basically what we're going to do. Now I'll skip the video ahead because I'm pretty much doing the same thing over and over again. But once you have all the information from whatever type of packet you're trying to view, then you can just go ahead and display it to the user.